What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu. Long time no see. It has been a while since I posted a new video, and we got to get right back into it. I've been away, actually. I was actually on vacation in Shanghai, China. I don't know if you guys been following me on Instagram, but I've been posting a lot about my trip on my Instagram account at the Ragin Nation. Follow me if you haven't already, and you'll see a lot of posts there. Anyways, I was in Shanghai, China. It's been a while since I left, or actually flown out of the country. Last time I flew out was in 2019, and that was an incredible trip. I went to the Wulong Karst Geological Park. That's where they filmed Transformers Age of Extinction. It was incredible. Look it up on YouTube. I got a video there, and that was 6 years ago. But between now and then, I haven't flown out of the country. I mean, road trips to Seattle, Emerald City Comic Con don't really count. I'm talking about flying out of the country, and, you know, this was a much-needed vacation, so that's why I've been away for a while. And there's been a lot of news about an upcoming film. As a matter of fact, there are 3 upcoming films that are in development. And one of them is a Transformers G.I. Joe crossover. Another one is a film that Josh Cooley will be directing, or rather wants to direct. He's the director of Transformers 1, which was absolutely superb. And then there is another film that Michael Bay is directly involved in. In what form, that hasn't been confirmed yet, but over the last 10 days, there's been a lot of developments with regards to this film. This film that is not Transformers and G.I. Joe. It's not Josh Cooley's film. It's his film. But what his involvement is a little bit vague. Is he just producer, executive producer, or is he directing? Now, they never actually mention whether or not he's directing this film, just because if you start putting words like Michael Bay directing next Transformers film, that is big news. So they never actually mention that, because otherwise it's like people are gonna just like make it out as like it is confirmed. Anyways, let's just go to tfw2005.com and let's just look at the first post. This was back in August 7. I was in Shanghai back in at that time. Let's just look at this headline. It says, Michael Bay in talks to develop a new Transformers movie. They're looking to shoot in October. No. It's got to be talking about something else. They can't be shooting in another film in October. They're looking to shoot in October, and Netflix will lock in a new filmmaker to keep things on track. Bay has plenty else to do. He is discussing with Paramount a return to Transformers into the Transformers fold with a new version of that tentpole. And he's also percolating at Universal Outrun, an adaptation of the video game that is a star vehicle for Sydney Sweeney. Jason Rothwell is scripting with Bay, and Brad Fuller producing with Sweeney. So never mind about Outrun, the video game adaptation. Let's talk about what it says that he's discussing with Paramount to return to the Transformers fold with a new version of that tentpole. So the keywords that I get out here, I mean, in that statement, is a new version of that tentpole. So it sounds like a reboot. Sounds like we're getting a new version of Transformers that is completely disconnected from what we've seen in the past. If they do that, so does that mean that the Cableverse or the Nightverse, like that iteration of Transformers, that timeline of Transformers is done? Like, is that just a one and done thing? Is that just a one-off? Like, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. He wants to do a new version of Transformers. I think he's been, like, after the result of the last night, and then he saw the success of Bumblebee, and then he saw, while the box office take of Rise of the Beast was not great, he did see the overall the positive reactions to it, right? And how another director can make a Transformers film that is a better and or at least a higher quality product than his last film, and it's very, very well received. So I think that inspired him and gave him some more ideas about how he could make it different. Now, I've been following Michael Bay's career since Bad Boys, and he has evolved his his visual style, storytelling style, you know, over the course of his career. But a lot of it still remains. I mean, I really enjoyed Ambulance, but one of the things that I have an issue um, with Ambulance visually is a lot of the same issues that I have with Transformers Last Night, and that is their visual continuity. The editing is just it's all over the place. I mean, I really like Ambulance. It's one of his better films, but then it just, you know, when you're watching a car chase scene in Ambulance, it just feels like the continuity of the scenes is still quite off, and the audience can really feel that. Excuse me. So, at the end of the day, Michael Bay is still Michael Bay. You know, he can learn from other directors, and he can learn from other movies and be inspired. But I still haven't seen like a I guess positively evolved version of his style of filmmaking. So, with that being said, I am still looking forward to what he is working on. I don't know what it's going to be, but as far as I know, based on what it says, a new version of Transformers. So in that sense, I feel like it's going to be a reboot. But how can you do this without Peter Cullen as Optimus Prime? At the end of the day, I mean, that design that Stephen Cable Jr. made of Optimus Prime for Transformers Rise of the Beast, that is definitive movieverse Prime to me. At least that's what I think. So you're still going to have to take that design, because if you don't, then I feel like, what are you doing here? Okay. Anyways, let's move to this update that was posted on August 13. The headline is Michael Bay Transformers Return Update, scripts to be reviewed shortly. Okay, on a Transformers front, the franchise saw rebooted live-action film Transformers Rise of the Beast, 442 global box office, starring Anthony Ramos in 2023, and animated picked Transformers 1 BAO last year. Prior to sale, the studio had 3 separate scripts in development, including one version that sources say has Michael Bay returning to the franchise. Those scripts should be ready for new leadership to take a look at shortly. Okay, so who is writing the script? They didn't mention anything about like who is the writer. If they actually did mention names of writers, I think that would be some pretty substantial news. But they just have scripts that are ready for new leadership to take a look at shortly. Shortly could be like a week from now. Shortly could mean that it has already happened, or shortly could be like a month from now. In any case, a script from a writer that we don't know who it is going to be presented to studio executives, and they're going to get approval. I believe that Michael Bay has looked at a version of the script, whether it's like the completed version or I guess a draft of it, and he's very much interested in directing this, or at least developing this. Okay, so that is how I interpret that last update. And going back to the previous update where he said they're looking to shoot in October, like, is that for real? Like, October? Like, we didn't get, like, this announcement about a new film just came out of nowhere. Like, this is like new news that like just came out of nowhere. So it's not like, you know, whenever they develop new Transformers movies, it's like months or like years in advance. Right? This just like, what the hell? Suddenly we're getting a new Transformers film after the, unfortunately, the box office failure of Transformers 1. Like, suddenly this came out of nowhere. And the box office failure that was Transformers Rise of the Beast, it wasn't a success. It didn't make a profit. It is what it is. Right? But still, a new movie's coming out, and from none other than Michael Bay himself. Okay, this is the third and final update to date. Theatrical Transformers films to be a priority at Paramount. Okay, let's read this. Ellison, who said he intends to make movies exclusively for theaters, now has full control over a number of film franchises he already worked on at Skydance. Now, if you don't already know, Skydance and Paramount have made a merger. Like, there's been a merger being made. So these two studios are joining forces, and by doing that, now we have more, more and control, or not control, let's say freedom, if you will, to get more things done, because now you're two studios joining forces. Now you can get more done. Okay, many of them have been dormant on the big screen for years: Star Trek, G.I. Joe, or have had trouble finding their footing in recent years. Terminator, Transformers. Co-film chief Josh Greenstein said these franchises would be a priority, noting the company hopes to release 15 films a year. 15, and then up to 20. He named Star Trek and Transformers, with the surprise being World War Z, the 2013 Brad Pitt zombie feature. He also indicated an interest in both horror as well as R-rated comedies, but he noted that the originals were also a priority, pointing to the first green light under the new regime, the Timothy Chalamet, James Mangold Project Highside. In any case, so the key words to note is that they want to put Transformers along with Star Trek, G.I. Joe, World War Z as a priority. So big tentpole films. They want to get these big films as priority because I guess, well, these are the big money makers. These are the big gambles, and they want to roll with that because now they got the power of having two studios join forces together. They can produce more. They have the ability, the capable hands to produce more films. So they want to bump up 15 films a year to 20 films a year. And of course, with in that 20 films, there's going to be big films. And what are those big films? G.I. Joe, Star Trek, Transformers, World War Z. So Transformers in there. So they're putting that, they're fast tracking it. They're putting it a priority. So looks like we are no longer in like a limbo of where the Transformers franchise is going to be. I thought that we're going to get Transformers films in 6-7 years from now, and just let it rest. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the case. It's actually happening now. So all these updates have been made. So here's my feedback from that. Here's what I got to say. Looks like Michael Bay is looking to direct. At least that's what I think. He's looking to direct. They're not going to make that announcement yet. First, they got to studio executives have to approve that script from mystery writer. But it looks like, from what I understand, Michael Bay has looked at a draft of that script, and he's very, very much interested. So I'm just wondering, what is in that script that actually got Michael Bay very interested? And you know, what kind of director is Michael Bay? He's a very visual director. He likes big sequences. So there's got to be something in that script that really caught his attention, whether it's a big car chase, a big battle sequence, something involving something he's never done before, maybe I don't know, involving a ship or a plane sequence. I don't know, but I'm just saying that there's something in that script that really caught his attention. Maybe it's like more crazy military involvement, who knows, but that's the type of filmmaker he is. So expect something different. After all, he's got to do something different compared to, you know, what he's done in the previous last 5 films, or the first 5 films rather. So I think that he's looking to do something very new, and he did say, it does mention that it's going to be a new version. So my first thing that I got to say about this, if it's a new version, give Bumblebee back his voice. Come on, let's not go there anymore. That's just done, okay? It's done for like 7 movies, 7 live action films. Give him back his voice, okay? If you're going to do a new version of Transformers, if you're going to separate yourself or distance yourself from those other films, then at least give Bumblebee back his voice and just make these characters like the way they were, like the way we like them. You know what I'm saying? So they're you know, that's a start. All right? So I don't want to say too much more because otherwise I have a lot to say, but let's just keep it at that. Let's just see where we go from here. Okay, there's going to be more developments later on. After all, they did say that a script will be approved, or it's going to be looked at by leadership. Okay, shortly. So that could be within, I guess, in September. We're going to get some kind of announcement. So let's just roll with that, and then see where we go from there. All right. Anyways, stay tuned for the next video. I'm gonna show you. I really want to show you my haul from Shanghai. Okay, Shanghai is insane for Transformers. If you're a Transformers collector, a Transformers fan, Shanghai is insane, okay? So there's Chinese exclusives there and just a crazy, crazy selection, okay? You have no idea. But I just want to show you my haul in the next video, so stay tuned for that. And there you have it, okay? I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching us. Peace.